Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining me today and I hope you're all doing great. So in today's video, I want to look at 3 really simple ways that we can utilize one single tool in Photoshop to improve our minimalist photography. That simple tool is Dehaze. I'm gonna try to keep this video really short and simple, so without further ado, let's jump into Photoshop. Alright, so let's get started with this first image. A really nice shot I took of Meoto Iwa down in Mie Prefecture. A really nice and minimal place. And of course I did shoot a long exposure of this scene in the morning, but as you can see here, there is still some shadows in the water, some movement there. So I'd like this water to be a little bit more minimal. So a good way to achieve this result is by using the Dehaze filter in the Camera Raw set of filters. So I have my base layer here. How do I do that? I'm just gonna duplicate this layer with Ctrl J on my keyboard. And whenever I use Dehaze, I like to be able to go back and tweak the effect down the line. So I always try to convert this layer into a smart object. Which I can do by going to Layer here in the menu, Smart Objects, Convert to Smart Object. And this might take a while. Okay, so now my layer is converted into a smart object. And then after that, I'm going to Filters, Camera Raw Filter. And I'm not gonna do anything in all these sliders. I'm only going to focus into the Dehaze slider here, and I'm going to use it in this kind of uncommon way. I'm going to bring it down, look at the water, look at the effect it has on the water in the foreground. It makes all these shadows and these ripples here disappear. So I'm going to bring it down a fair amount, maybe something like -65 or something like that. And then I can also see that the highlights are kind of bright at the moment, so I might bring down the highlights just a little bit, and maybe, just maybe, bring up the whites slightly and bring up the shadows and the blacks. Now, as you can see here, the effect, of course, is visible also in the rocks here in the foreground, but we're not going to worry about this at the moment. We're just going to apply the effect. And this is the before and after. Pretty dramatic. And then what I can do to apply this effect only in the water is I can just apply a layer mask on my new layer. I can invert the mask so it's all black. Then I can grab my brush tool with a B on my keyboard, select the white with an opacity of 90% and a flow of about 30%. A really soft brush, as you can see here, hardness is at 0%. And then I can just go there and start to brush in my Dehaze layer on my base layer. And I'm not gonna do this in a really detailed way at the moment. It's just to show you basically how you would do that. I'll make this smaller. Start to affect also these parts of the image, like so. And you get the idea. You start doing that until you're happy with the results. And of course, if I think the effect is too strong or not strong enough, I can always go back. Since this is a smart object, I can always go back to my filter and tweak it even more. So for example, if I want to preserve the blacks a little bit more, I can go to the curves, bring down the blacks like so, and make even more contrast in the image. And if I click OK, you will see that the effect is applied and the mask is still there. So as you can see, now this is not perfect because I just did it in 30 seconds just to show you, but if you do it properly, it's gonna make this part of the image, this water, much more minimal and more suitable to the scene. So what I did after that is I did my usual vignetting. I added my film grain as usual, a little bit of dodging and burning, and the final result is something like this, which is a pretty dramatic effect if compared to the original image. So this is the before and this is the after. A really easy way to use dehaze to improve the minimal quality of your water in your image. Alright, down to image number 2. This is an image I shot of Shiraige Shrine down at Lake Biwa, a really iconic place for minimalist photography here in Japan, even if there was a lot of people shooting this same image at the same time, but that's for another story. So as you can see here, I already worked on this image a little bit. It's already in black and white, it's already kind of minimal, but it's still not so much contrasty, and I have some kind of artifacts here in the sky from the light leaking from the clouds here, and also I can kind of see the horizon line here, which is what I want to remove in this example. So we can use the same technique that we just used in the previous image. We can use dehaze to get rid of this horizon line, which will make for a really minimalistic image. So again, I'm gonna duplicate my base layer, convert this to a smart object, and then I'm going to go to filters, camera raw filter, go back to my basic here and apply my dehaze, and I'm gonna go pretty strong on this one. I'm gonna go down all the way until I kind of start to not see the horizon line anymore, and of course I can tweak that later. So let's say -80, and I kind of want to keep the gate a little bit darker, so I'm just going to the blacks and bringing down that so I get more contrast. Not too much, but enough to get some contrast. And I might want to go up with the whites as well, so the image is even more minimal. Can you see how much of a difference this is making? You can barely see anything in the foreground here in the water. You cannot see the horizon line and you cannot see the sky, which is really dramatic. Look at that, before and after. So again, a really simple and easy way to use dehaze to get rid of all the parts in your image that you don't want to show, and to make what you want to show stand out even more, in this case the gate here. So again, after applying the dehaze, I did my usual processing, so my vignetting, my film grain conversion, a little bit of dodging and burning, and at the end the result was this one. As you can see, huge difference. This is the before, this is the after. A really minimal image that I really like. One of the best images that I shot on that year, I think, and actually one of my best sellers. This image sells really well as a print. So yeah, a really easy way to use dehaze to remove your horizon lines. Alright, so here we are with image number 3, and here I want to use the same tool, the same dehaze technique, to do something a little bit different, which is create more separation between my main subject here and the background by creating some kind of realistic fog. So this is an image I shot from my latest vlog from Aokigahara Forest. If you didn't see that vlog, I'm gonna put a link here at the top right of the screen, so go and check that out. So yeah, not my usual image here. I kind of wanted more fog in the first place here when I shot this image, but I really liked the shape of the tree, and I kind of tried to achieve the effect that I wanted there on location by using the dehaze. So again, it's the same technique as before, so I'm not going to show that to you. I'm just going to show you how the before and after looks. So this is without the filter, and this is with the dehaze applied. You can see there's a kind of haze here that looks like real fog, and the effect is kind of incredibly natural for what it is. So if I recall correctly, I went down all the way on the dehaze slider here. So yeah, as you can see here is -100, so I couldn't go less than this. But as you can see, it looks kind of natural, which is remarkable, and it makes this tree really stand out. The only thing that I did differently here is that I added a layer mask here, in which I masked it out a little bit of that fog on my main subject here, so it stands out a little bit more, and just a slight pass of that black brush here on the foreground, because as you know, the fog is not the same in all directions and in all positions, so I wanted to recreate a kind of realistic effect where the fog is a little bit thicker here on the background, and you can see a little bit more details here in the foreground. So yeah, after that I did my usual processing, a little bit of dodging and burning, some vignetting, film conversion, and this is the final image, which I think is a really huge improvement over the base image here. So yeah, again, a kind of non-conventional use of dehaze technique to create a really minimal effect. Alright, that's it. 3 really simple ways to improve your minimalist photography just by using the dehaze in Photoshop. Hopefully you can use these techniques for your own post-processing. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, remember to give it a thumbs up, consider subscribing to the channel, and as usual, I'll see you in the next video. Ciao!